Hey everyone, so I just wanted to send out a massive shout out today to anyone who may be experiencing any sort of setback in your training and your fitness journey. I want you guys to know that even though any sort of setback can be a very disheartening and demotivating and frustrating process, that you guys are doing awesome, and I want you to keep up the amazing work, and most importantly, just never give up. Everyone at some point is going to go through or experience some sort of setback, whether that be an illness or an injury or a major muscle imbalance that gets picked up in an exercise that you do, or it can even be an emotional or a mental setback. But guys, it's what you do with those setbacks that's either going to make you or break you. I want you guys to look at a setback, if you do or when you do experience one, as a stepping stone to making you a stronger and fitter and more mentally tough athlete than what you were before. I know that it can seem disheartening and you want to throw in the towel and give up when we pull you back and take you back to basics and go give you lots of mobility work, and you sit there and you compare yourself to where you were before and what you were doing before, and I could live this before, but now can I only do this, and I feel like I'm starting again, and what's the point? And it turns into a very emotional process. But it's our job as coaches to work on these setbacks and work on these imbalances and pull you back when we see what's going on, and rebuild you and refocus you, so that when you walk out the door, you walk out the door a better athlete than what you walked in as. So I've got a client at the moment who had some major weaknesses and imbalances in his back and his hips and also his abs as well. And 4 weeks ago, it was just getting to the point that his squat was getting worse and worse and worse because these imbalances were showing up more and more each rep he tried. So for the last 4 weeks, I've pulled him back and have had him doing lots of mobility stuff, very basic strengthening exercises for those areas that he's got weaknesses. And on Friday in a strength camp class, for the first time ever since I've met him, he hit depth on a squat for the first time, and he did it almost flawlessly. So I know in the next few weeks that I'm going to have him back doing squats and back to the heavy lifting and stuff that he was doing, but he's going to be doing it a million times better, and he's a million times stronger for it. And I also wanted to let you guys know as well, as coaches, that we too experience setbacks in our training and in our fitness. And while it might come across that we go through these things and we just bounce back and start again, trust me, it's just as difficult a process for us to get through as it is for you guys. But if I give you a couple of examples of what I've actually been through personally, I'm sure most of you know that earlier this year in March, I got extremely ill and had to have emergency surgery, and it knocked me out for weeks. I was off work for almost 5 weeks, and it took me a good 7 weeks before I was able to start training again. And I'm now 6 or 7 weeks back at training, and I'm only just getting back to feeling strong and feeling fit, and I know that I've still got a little way to go before I'm back to where I was prior to getting sick. But I'm well on my way, and I'm more focused and more mentally tough and more in tune with my body than I ever have been before. And prior to that, I actually had years and years ago, which I don't think any of you have ever been told about, is that I was in the peak of my fitness back then, and I was playing A-grade netball. The club that I was playing for, the team that I was playing for, we were completely undefeated for 2 seasons in a row. We won every single game. We won all the finals and the grand finals. And I was also coaching a masters team, and I was coaching some junior teams as well, and everything was going amazing. And in the blink of an eye, all of that got completely turned on its head because I fell 1.5 meters off a stage and I landed on my back. And the result of that was that I broke my right hip, and it got shunted 2 centimeters up into my spine on impact into the ground, and I squashed the first 3 discs in my spine and did some major damage to my sciatic nerve. And you know, it took me months of rehab and going to the physio 3 or 4 times a week and getting treatment and doing basic exercises to try and rebuild the strength and fix up the imbalances and the injuries, you know, because my whole body was put out just by that split second fall. And you know, sure, I could have given up at any point and just gone and sat on the couch and go, you know what, F this, it's too hard. And you know, it would have been easy to cruise through life just blaming everything on my hip injury and not doing anything to fix it. But instead, I picked myself up and I dusted myself off, and I went, you know what, I'm going to come out of this a much stronger and fitter person because of it. And I totally have. You know, I look back at where I was with my fitness then, and yes, I was really fit and doing really well, but I look at where I am now and the things that I'm achieving now, and I'm just so much more mentally tough and positive, and most importantly, so much more appreciative of my own body because of these experiences that I've been through. So as tough as these experiences are for you guys to go through, and these setbacks and having to pull back and start again, just remember, it's only going to benefit you in the long run. And so stay positive, guys, and don't give up. And everything that you're doing now is only for the greater good. And I can't wait to see where all of you end up after overcoming these setbacks. So keep your chins up, and I'll see you in the gym.